Alright, it's day 2 of our Kazakhstan adventure with the Join Me group tour, and today is all about canyons. After a quick homemade breakfast from our local host, we packed up, hopped into the van, and got ready for a full day of exploring. Our first stop for the day was the Black Canyon. The moment we arrived at the viewpoint, the landscape instantly looked more rugged and dramatic. Black Canyon gets its name from the darker tones of the rock formations compared to the other canyons in the region. The cliffs look deeper, the shadows look stronger, and the whole place just has this mysterious vibe to it. Standing at the edge of the viewpoint, you can see the canyon stretching far into a distance. The rock layers create these incredible textures across the landscape. After taking some photos and enjoying the view, we got back on the road and headed to our next stop, Moon Canyon. Walking around here really felt like stepping onto another planet, with the pale rock formations and the winter sky above us. It really gave off that moon surface kind of vibe. But of course, the highlight of the entire trip was our last stop, the famous Charyn Canyon. Charyn Canyon is often called the Grand Canyon of Central Asia, and once you see it in person, you'll understand why. The canyon stretches for around 150 kilometers along the Charyn River, and the rock formations here have been shaped over millions of years by wind, water, and erosion. The most famous part is called the Valley of Castles, and when you look at the rock formations, you'll see exactly why. The tall red rock pillars look like giant stone castles, towers, and ancient fortresses rising out of the canyon floor. From the panoramic viewpoint, the view is absolutely incredible. You can see the entire valley stretching out below, filled with these massive rock formations, creating what almost look like a natural maze. From here, visitors have the option to hike down into the canyon and walk all the way through the Valley of Castles until you reach the end. The trail takes you between the towering rock formations, and at the end of the hike, there's a small river and a resting area where people can relax. And the good news is that if you don't want to hike all the way back, there are vehicles at the end that can bring you back to the meeting point. My parents were actually planning to hike all the way to the end of the canyon, but since us kids stayed behind at the panoramic viewpoint instead of joining the hike, they weren't able to finish the entire trail and had to turn back earlier. So while we stayed up here enjoying the view, we didn't get to see the very end ourselves. But here's a quick look at how the end of Charyn Canyon actually looks. And just like that, our 2-day Join Me group tour officially came to an end. We highly recommend this tour. Everything was very organized, the schedule was smooth, and we got to visit some of the most beautiful landscapes in Kazakhstan without worrying about planning, transportation, or routes. For us, it was definitely a great value for money. After the tour, they dropped everyone back at the same place where we met on day 1. From there, we headed straight to our accommodation. So before we end this video, let me show you around the place and the view outside. And that wraps up our adventure here in Kazakhstan. Bye!